In 1978, the independent film Halloween was brought to life by director John Carpenter and co-writer Deborah Hill. The movie stars Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasence, with PJ Soles and Nancy Kyes in supporting roles. This classic horror film is known for its chilling suspense and groundbreaking style, making it a significant contribution to the genre. The story revolves around Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, and her terrifying encounter with the relentless killer, Michael Myers. The movie's success has led to numerous sequels and a remake, cementing its place in film history. The chilling movie Halloween introduces us to the character of Michael Myers, a young boy who, in 1963, inexplicably murders his 15-year-old sister Judith on Halloween night. This brutal act marks the beginning of Michael's bloody legacy. 15 years later, on the anniversary of the murder, Michael escapes from Smith's Grove Sanitarium, a mental health facility for the criminally insane. Driven by an unknown force, Michael returns to his hometown of Haddonfield, Illinois. He sets his sights on Laurie Strode, a blissfully unaware high school student, and her friends Annie and Linda. The movie masterfully builds tension as the audience is kept on edge, wondering who will be Michael's next victim. As the story unfolds, we learn that Michael has been fixated on Laurie, leading to a thrilling and terrifying chase. The movie's portrayal of Michael as an unstoppable force, with no apparent motive, adds to the sense of dread and unease. Halloween is a classic example of the slasher genre, and Michael Myers has become one of the most iconic villains in horror movie history. The movie's ability to create suspense and fear, even today, is a testament to its enduring appeal.
3 blocks down. You go around the back of the houses. I'll watch the front. Go on!
Dr. Samuel Loomis, a dedicated psychiatrist, and Sheriff Lee Brackett, a seasoned law enforcement officer, found themselves in a race against time in the 1978 movie Halloween. Their mission was to track down a dangerous individual who had escaped from a mental institution. This mentally unstable person was none other than Michael Myers, a character named after the European distributor of Carpenter's previous film, Assault on Precinct 13 from 1976. Dr. Loomis had been treating Michael for 15 years and knew the depth of his patient's dangerous tendencies. As a result, he was determined to put an end to Michael's reign of terror. Meanwhile, Sheriff Brackett, being a well-respected figure in the community, felt responsible for ensuring the safety of the town's residents, particularly his own daughter, who was in Michael's crosshairs. As the night of Halloween approached, Dr. Loomis and Sheriff Brackett left no stone unturned in their quest to find Michael. They scoured every corner of the town, hoping to put an end to his rampage. The movie's tension built up as the night progressed, with Michael leaving a trail of bodies in his wake. Dr. Loomis and Sheriff Brackett's determination to stop Michael was a testament to their dedication to their respective professions. They were not about to let a dangerous individual wreak havoc on their town. Despite the challenges they faced, they remained resolute in their mission to protect the community. In the end, Dr. Loomis and Sheriff Brackett's efforts paid off, and they were able to stop Michael, albeit at a great cost. The movie's climax left audiences on the edge of their seats, wondering if Michael would be stopped once and for all. In summary, Halloween featured Dr. Samuel Loomis and Sheriff Lee Brackett's relentless pursuit of the mentally unstable Michael Myers. Their determination to protect their town and its residents was a testament to their dedication to their professions. The movie's tension and suspense kept audiences on the edge of their seats, making it a classic horror film that continues to resonate with audiences today.
Deal. Thought Paul was grounded. He was.
In the making of the 1978 classic Halloween, a unique filming technique was employed to enhance the realism of a pivotal scene. As Dr. Loomis approaches the insane asylum, the character Michael Myers is supposed to break the window of a station wagon. To achieve this effect, a wrench was attached to Myers' forearm and hand, which were then painted flesh color to conceal them from the camera's view. This clever technique allowed the filmmakers to capture a more authentic and convincing shot of the window shattering, as it was actually being struck with force. The use of practical effects, such as this one, contributed to the overall suspenseful and eerie atmosphere of the movie. By employing such techniques, the creators of Halloween were able to craft a horror film that has endured as a cult classic, leaving a lasting impact on the genre. In the 1978 classic, Halloween, the character of Michael Myers is known for his menacing presence and mysterious backstory. One intriguing aspect of his character is his ability to drive a car, despite being incarcerated for most of his life. The movie never explicitly shows how Michael learned to drive, but the novelization provides a simple yet plausible explanation. According to the novelization, over the years that Dr. Loomis drove Michael to insanity hearings, Michael paid close attention to how Dr. Loomis operated the car. He carefully observed Dr. Loomis's movements and reactions, committing them to memory. This repeated exposure to driving a car allowed Michael to learn the necessary skills through observation alone. It's important to note that Michael was a highly intelligent and observant individual, making it possible for him to learn how to drive in this way. His keen ability to focus and retain information, even in the face of severe emotional and psychological trauma, is a testament to his character's complexity. In the end, the question of how Michael learned to drive remains a mystery that adds to the character's enigmatic allure. The explanation provided in the novelization is just one possible theory, leaving room for interpretation and speculation among fans of the movie.
I think he'll come back. I'm gonna wait for him. I still think I should notify.
In the 1978 classic Halloween, music plays a significant role in setting the eerie atmosphere. As the character Laurie Stride settles into her bedroom, a poster of a painting by James Ensor catches the eye. This Belgian artist was known for his unsettling and ominous themes, which perfectly encapsulate the film's mood. During a pivotal scene, Laurie and her friend Annie share a ride in Annie's car, smoking a joint while on their way to their destination. The soundtrack features Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult, a hauntingly appropriate choice that adds to the film's suspenseful tone. The lyrics, "Don't fear the Reaper, the Grim Reaper's here," foreshadow the looming presence of the movie's antagonist, Michael Myers. The movie's soundtrack is a masterful blend of original music by John Carpenter and carefully selected songs, creating an unforgettable and chilling experience for viewers. The use of music in Halloween is a prime example of how it can elevate a film's storytelling, enhancing the audience's emotional connection to the characters and heightening the overall tension. In the 1978 movie Halloween, Donald Pleasence, a seasoned actor, accomplished all his scenes in a mere 5 days of shooting. The entirety of his screen time adds up to just over 18 minutes in the film. Despite his limited appearance, Pleasence's portrayal of Dr. Samuel Loomis left a lasting impression, making him a pivotal character in this classic. On the other hand, the young Jamie Lee Curtis, who played the role of Laurie Strode, was initially disheartened by her performance. So much so, that she was convinced she would be fired after the first day of filming. However, she continued to work on the movie, and eventually became a scream queen, establishing herself as a prominent figure in the horror genre. As the story unfolds, Pleasence's character, Dr. Loomis, is seen as a dedicated psychiatrist, determined to keep the escaped mental patient, Michael Myers, from causing harm to others. Meanwhile, Curtis's character, Laurie, is an innocent high school student, trying to survive the night of Halloween while being pursued by the relentless killer. In summary, despite their limited screen time, both Donald Pleasence and Jamie Lee Curtis made significant contributions to the success of Halloween. Pleasence's intense and gripping performance as Dr. Loomis and Curtis's portrayal of the relatable and likable Laurie Strode have left a lasting impact on audiences and have solidified their places in horror movie history.
Who is this?
In the making of this classic horror film, Halloween, the costume department was faced with a significant challenge due to budget constraints. As a result, all the actors ended up wearing their own clothes for the movie. This decision added a sense of realism to the characters, making them more relatable and authentic to the audience. The film's iconic Myers house, where most of the chilling scenes take place, was not a set built for the movie. Instead, the filmmakers discovered an abandoned building in South Pasadena, California, and decided to use it as the Myers house. The location's eerie and desolate atmosphere perfectly captured the film's chilling and suspenseful tone. The fact that the house was an actual abandoned building added to the film's authenticity, making the horror feel more real and tangible. The use of real-life clothing and locations in Halloween created a sense of familiarity and realism that heightened the film's suspense and horror. The filmmakers' resourcefulness and creativity in overcoming budget constraints resulted in a movie that has left a lasting impact on the horror genre.
take a little walk.
What is the boogeyman? I'm scared.
There's nothing to be scared of.
The original script for this classic horror film, Halloween, was actually titled The Babysitter Murders and had the chilling events taking place over several days. However, the final version of the movie condensed the timeline to a single night, heightening the suspense and terror. One of the actresses in this iconic film is Sandy Johnson, who plays the role of Judith Myers. Interestingly, before getting into acting, Johnson posed fully nude for Playboy. This fact might be surprising to some fans of the movie, as it contrasts sharply with the wholesome image of the character she portrays. Despite this contrast, Johnson's performance in the film remains a memorable one, contributing to the enduring legacy of Halloween. The movie has transcended the horror genre and become a cultural touchstone, with many fans cherishing it to this day. It's fascinating to think about the different paths that the actors and actresses in this classic took before and after their roles in it. Upon its release in October of 1978, Halloween quickly became a box office success. The low-budget horror film grossed an impressive $70 million, making it one of the most profitable independent films of all time. This achievement was particularly notable as it demonstrated that a well-crafted and suspenseful movie could attract a wide audience, even without the backing of a major studio. The film's success helped to pave the way for future independent filmmakers and showed that horror as a genre had a wide appeal. To this day, Halloween remains a classic of the genre, and its influence can still be felt in many modern horror films.
Little Lindsay Wallace won't know what hit her.
Halloween, the 1978 movie, is a horror classic that left a significant impact on the genre. Set in the small town of Haddonfield, Illinois, the story revolves around a masked killer named Michael Myers, who returns to his hometown to continue his murderous rampage. Directed by John Carpenter, Halloween was released at a time when the horror genre was dominated by monster movies and supernatural thrillers. This film, however, introduced a new kind of villain, a relentless, unstoppable force that embodied pure evil. The movie's success led to a long-running franchise, but it was the original 1978 film that truly resonated with audiences. Its innovative use of music, camera angles, and suspenseful pacing set new standards for horror films. Despite its age, Halloween remains relevant today. Its themes of fear, violence, and the struggle between good and evil continue to captivate viewers. This classic film serves as a reminder of the power of cinema to both entertain and provoke thought. The casting process for the 1978 movie Halloween was a meticulous journey. John Carpenter, the director, had a clear vision for his characters. For the role of Michael Myers, Carpenter wanted an unknown actor. He chose Nick Castle, a film student and Carpenter's frequent collaborator. Castle's physicality and quiet intensity fit the role perfectly. The protagonist, Laurie Strode, was initially offered to Anne Lockhart, but she was unavailable. Carpenter then turned to Jamie Lee Curtis, who was just starting her acting career. Despite her lack of experience, Curtis's audition was impressive. Her vulnerability and strength resonated with Carpenter, making her the ideal choice for Laurie. Donald Pleasence, a seasoned actor, was cast as Dr. Samuel Loomis. Pleasence's ability to portray a complex character with both authority and empathy won Carpenter over. P.J. Soles, known for her work in Carrie, was cast as Linda van der Klok. Soles' energy and comedic timing provided a nice contrast to the film's darker elements. The chemistry between the actors was palpable during rehearsals. Curtis and Castle, in particular, had a natural rapport that translated well on screen. Their scenes together are filled with a tension that keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. In the end, the casting of Halloween was a pivotal moment in horror movie history. Each actor brought something unique to their role, creating a film that continues to resonate with audiences today.
I'm worried about him. He hasn't spoken a word in 15 years.
The directorial vision behind the 1978 movie Halloween was mainly that of John Carpenter. His approach to bringing the story to life was characterized by a strong emphasis on suspense and tension rather than explicit violence. Carpenter wanted to create a horror movie that would rely on the audience's imagination and fear of the unknown. Carpenter's creative influences included classic horror films from the 1950s and 1960s, such as Psycho and The Birds. He also drew inspiration from the German expressionist cinema of the 1920s, which was known for its use of distorted sets and lighting to create a sense of unease. One of the most notable aspects of Carpenter's style is his use of long, uninterrupted shots. This technique was used to build tension and create a sense of claustrophobia. Carpenter also made use of the Steadicam, a camera stabilization system, to create smooth and fluid camera movements. In terms of collaboration, Carpenter worked very closely with his cast and crew. He encouraged improvisation and experimentation, and he often collaborated with his actors to develop their characters. For example, he worked closely with Jamie Lee Curtis, who played the lead role of Laurie Strode, to create a character that was both strong and vulnerable. Carpenter also collaborated with his cinematographer, Dean Cundey, to create the film's distinctive look. Together, they used a muted color palette and a lot of shadows to create a sense of foreboding. They also used a lot of wide shots to show the isolation of the characters and the vastness of the landscape. In conclusion, John Carpenter's directorial vision for Halloween was instrumental in creating a horror movie that has stood the test of time. His approach, which emphasized suspense and tension over explicit violence, and his use of long takes and the Steadicam, helped to create a sense of unease and claustrophobia. His close collaboration with his cast and crew also helped to bring the story to life in a unique and compelling way. The 1978 classic horror film Halloween was filmed on a modest budget of just over $300,000. The set design and locations played a significant role in creating the eerie atmosphere that has become synonymous with this movie. One of the most iconic locations in the film is the Myers house, which was a real house located in South Pasadena, California. However, the interior shots were filmed in a soundstage. To save on costs, the production team built the set using plywood and spare lumber. The walls were thin and flimsy, which proved challenging when it came to nailing things into them or moving heavy equipment around. Another notable location was the Haddonfield neighborhood where much of the movie takes place. This suburban area of South Pasadena provided the perfect backdrop for the film's chilling scenes. The production team faced some logistical challenges while filming here, though. They had to obtain permits from the city and coordinate with local residents, who often found themselves inconvenienced by the production. Despite these challenges, the crew managed to create an incredibly effective and suspenseful film. One innovative technique they employed was using a handheld camera to capture many of the shots. This approach added a sense of realism and immediacy to the movie, making viewers feel as if they were right there with the characters. Another interesting aspect of the production was the use of minimal special effects. Instead, the film relied heavily on atmosphere, lighting, and sound to create its chilling effect. For example, the famous Michael Myers point-of-view shots were achieved using a simple camera rig and a modified helmet. In conclusion, despite its modest budget, Halloween made innovative use of set design, locations, and filming techniques to create a truly iconic horror film. The music in John Carpenter's 1978 classic Halloween is a fundamental element that significantly contributes to the film's success. Composed by Carpenter himself, the score is a minimalist yet chilling masterpiece that perfectly complements the narrative and emotional tone of the movie. Carpenter, who also co-wrote the script and directed the film, created the score with his synth-heavy DIY approach. This simplicity was a conscious choice, as he wanted the music to be subtle and eerie, allowing it to creep up on the audience just like the film's antagonist, Michael Myers. The main theme, a 5/4 signature repetitive pattern, creates a sense of unease and tension. It is a simple motif, yet it leaves an indelible mark on the viewer's mind, becoming synonymous with the horror genre. The piano's stark, mechanical sound adds to the chilling atmosphere, while the steady, pulsating rhythm mirrors a relentless, unstoppable force, Michael Myers himself. The soundtrack also includes subtle cues that heighten the suspense. For instance, the use of silence is as powerful as the music itself. The absence of sound creates a vacuum, making the audience acutely aware of their own heartbeat and heightening their anticipation of what's to come. Moreover, the score's simplicity contrasts effectively with the film's sound effects, such as Myers' heavy breathing, which adds to the overall eeriness. This contrast creates a rich, multi-layered auditory experience that enhances the narrative and emotional tone of the film. In conclusion, the score and soundtrack of Halloween are integral to the film's success. They demonstrate John Carpenter's versatility as a filmmaker and his understanding of the power of music and storytelling. The minimalist, chilling score not only complements the narrative and emotional tone of the film, but also leaves a lasting impact on the viewer, making it a standout even in the annals of horror movie history.
5-year-old. Well, he was your patient, Doctor, and precautions weren't strong enough. You should have told somebody. I told everybody! Nobody listened.
One of the most iconic scenes in John Carpenter's Halloween is the opening shot, filmed from the perspective of a stalker. The audience sees through the eyes of the killer as he dons a mask and gloves, then commits a brutal murder. This scene sets the tone for the entire movie, and its impact is undeniable. Carpenter himself directed this scene, and he chose to use a steady camera to create a sense of unease. The performance of the actor playing the killer is also crucial, as the audience only sees his hands and the mask. Nick Castle, who played Michael Myers, or The Shape as he's credited, had to convey menace and intensity without speaking or showing his face. The cinematography in this scene is simple yet effective. Carpenter uses a first-person perspective to put the audience in the killer's shoes, creating a sense of intimacy and danger. The use of shadows and darkness adds to the eerie atmosphere, making the scene even more unsettling. The impact of this scene on the audience is significant. It immediately establishes Michael Myers as a formidable and terrifying villain, and the use of the first-person perspective creates a sense of vulnerability in the viewer. The scene also sets up the theme of the movie, the idea that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places. Another iconic scene in Halloween is the infamous Mr. Sandman scene. In this scene, Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is sitting in her bedroom, studying for a test. She hears a strange noise outside and goes to investigate. As she looks out the window, she sees Michael Myers standing in the yard, holding a large knife. Carpenter's direction in this scene is masterful. He uses a slow zoom to build tension, and the use of the Mr. Sandman theme adds to the eeriness of the moment. Curtis's performance is also noteworthy. She conveys a sense of fear and vulnerability, making the audience root for her character. The cinematography in this scene is also impressive. Carpenter uses a lot of shadows and darkness to create a sense of mystery and danger. The use of the window as a frame also adds to the suspense, as the audience knows that Michael Myers is just on the other side. The impact of this scene on the audience is significant. It establishes Michael Myers as a relentless and unstoppable force, and the use of the Mr. Sandman theme creates a sense of unease that lasts throughout the movie. The scene also sets up the final confrontation between Laurie and Michael, making it all the more intense. Overall, the iconic scenes in Halloween are memorable for their direction, performance, and cinematography. They create a sense of tension and unease that lasts throughout the movie, and their impact on the audience is undeniable. The filmmakers and actors involved in these scenes have created a horror classic that continues to resonate with audiences today. Released in 1978, the movie Halloween brought a new wave of horror to the big screen. Its cultural and social impact was significant, leaving a mark on pop culture that continues to this day. Halloween's success lies in its ability to tap into universal fears, presenting a relatable and suspenseful narrative. The film's antagonist, Michael Myers, became an iconic figure in the horror genre, embodying the concept of an unstoppable, silent killer. Audiences found themselves both terrified and captivated by this relentless force. The movie also resonated with audiences due to its small-town setting, which made the horrors feel all the more real and close to home. By setting the story in a familiar environment, director John Carpenter created a sense of intimacy that allowed viewers to connect with the characters on a deeper level. Moreover, Halloween played a crucial role in shaping the slasher subgenre of horror films. Its innovative use of suspense, camera angles, and music significantly influenced future horror movies. The iconic piano theme, composed by Carpenter himself, has become synonymous with the genre and is still widely recognized today. On a thematic level, Halloween contributed to discussions on relevant social issues, such as the impact of trauma and the vulnerability of teenagers. The film delved into the consequences of childhood experiences, exploring how Michael's troubled upbringing led to his violent adulthood. Furthermore, Halloween's portrayal of teenagers as the main protagonists allowed the film to touch upon themes of youth, rebellion, and the loss of innocence. As the young characters fought for their survival, audiences were reminded of the vulnerability and resilience of adolescence. In conclusion, the 1978 movie Halloween left an indelible mark on popular culture, shaping the horror genre and resonating with audiences through its relatable characters and suspenseful narrative. Its exploration of social themes, such as trauma and adolescence, further solidified its cultural significance and cemented its status as a classic horror film.
Same time, same place. Can we make jack-o'-lanterns? Sure. Watch them up.
Upon its release in 1978, the horror movie Halloween received critical acclaim and positive audience reactions. Noted film critic Roger Ebert gave the movie 3 out of 4 stars, praising its suspenseful direction and effective use of shock. He commended the film for its ability to scare us without resorting to explicit violence and gore. Audiences were also captivated by the movie's innovative approach to the horror genre. Halloween was one of the first films to popularize the concept of the unstoppable, relentless killer, which would later become a staple of the slasher genre. The film's protagonist, Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, was also widely praised for her strong and resourceful performance. The movie received several award nominations, including a Saturn Award for Best Horror Film and a Golden Globe nomination for Jamie Lee Curtis as Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. Although it did not win either award, the nominations themselves were a testament to the film's impact and influence on the horror genre. The accolades and positive reception Halloween received were significant for those involved in the film. Director John Carpenter's reputation as a talented filmmaker was solidified, and he went on to direct several other successful films. Jamie Lee Curtis's performance in Halloween launched her career as a successful actress, and she became known as a scream queen of the horror genre. In addition to the impact on the careers of those involved, Halloween also had a lasting influence on the horror genre as a whole. Its innovative approach to storytelling and character development helped to elevate the genre and pave the way for future horror films. The movie's enduring popularity and critical acclaim are a testament to its enduring legacy and influence.
I still think I should notify the radio and television.
If you do that, they'll see him on every street.
During the filming of Halloween, a low-budget horror movie, several fascinating stories emerged. One involved the film's star, Jamie Lee Curtis, who was only 19 at the time. To create the illusion of a high school setting, the production team needed to make Curtis appear younger. They achieved this by cutting off the top of her boots and letting her hair look unkempt. John Carpenter, the director, also played a significant role in creating the film's iconic score. With a minimal budget, he created the music using a simple synthesizer, recording it in just 3 days. The haunting theme became instantly recognizable and contributed significantly to the film's success. Nick Castle, who played the terrifying Michael Myers, was an old friend of Carpenter's from film school. Castle wore a Captain Kirk mask, which was later spray-painted white and modified to create the menacing appearance of Michael Myers. Interestingly, the production team initially considered using a William Shatner mask, but it was too expensive, leading them to opt for a more affordable alternative. The film's opening sequence, a continuous shot following a young Michael Myers, was quite a challenge to film. The crew used a dolly track to move the camera smoothly, but the track kept breaking due to the weight of the camera. Eventually, they managed to capture the perfect take, which became one of the most memorable scenes in the movie. Despite the film's limited budget, the crew managed to create an atmosphere of suspense and terror that resonated with audiences. The production team's ingenuity and determination resulted in a horror classic that left an indelible mark on the genre.
Stuck, huh?
All right, cut it out. It can happen to anyone.
Sure, stuck in a window.
Yeah, but I've seen you.
Without a doubt, the 1978 movie Halloween holds a significant place in film history. This groundbreaking slasher film, directed by John Carpenter, introduced the world to the unforgettable character of Michael Myers, a relentless and seemingly unstoppable killer. The movie's innovative use of suspense, shock, and minimalistic score composed by Carpenter himself left a lasting impact on the horror genre. Halloween's influence on future filmmaking is evident in various aspects. For instance, it sparked the trend of masked killers in horror films, with many subsequent movies adopting similar antagonists. Additionally, the film's focus on relentless pursuit and the final girl trope became staples in the slasher subgenre. Filmmakers like Wes Craven, Sean S. Cunningham, and Kevin Williamson have cited Halloween as an inspiration for their work. As for subsequent works inspired by Halloween, one need only look at the long-running franchise it spawned. With 11 films, and counting, the Halloween series has become a cultural phenomenon. Moreover, the film's success led to the birth of other influential horror franchises such as Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street. Beyond its direct descendants, Halloween has inspired countless other horror films and filmmakers. Its innovative approach to storytelling, character development, and visual style has left an indelible mark on the genre, making it a touchstone for horror cinema. Even today, Halloween continues to resonate with audiences and inspire new generations of filmmakers, ensuring its legacy will endure for years to come.
I forgot my chemistry book.
So who cares? I always forget my chemistry book and my math book and my English.
Revisiting the 1978 classic Halloween can spark a trip down memory lane. Did you watch it in theaters or on home video? What was it about this movie that left an impression on you? The film not only revolutionized the horror genre, but also introduced us to the unforgettable character of Michael Myers. How did you react to his chilling presence? Moreover, Halloween was a significant milestone for its director, John Carpenter. His innovative direction and unique style influenced many filmmakers after him. Did you notice any specific techniques or elements that stood out to you? This movie has been a topic of discussion for cinephiles for decades. How has your perspective on Halloween evolved over time? We'd love to hear your stories and thoughts. Share them with us in the comments below, like this post, and don't forget to subscribe for more cinematic explorations. Let's keep the conversation going.